This week, I'm painting up this Monk Halfling 3D print. Hey guys, what's going on? Michael here. So this week I'm going to be painting up this 3D printed miniature of a Halfling Monk, and I'm going to be painting a custom base along with it. I'm doing this because one of the players in my group recently created this character, and he's in need of a miniature that actually suits him. Now we're starting this all out with just a little black Vallejos surface primer. We'll give a good even coat to both the miniature and the base. Now I'll be cutting the miniature off of the printed base, so I'm not too worried about priming that. After the primer's had a good chance to dry, the first step in this process is going to be to base out the pants of this 3D printed miniature in a Vallejo color called Moon Yellow. Now this is a very vibrant yellow, and because of that it goes on very transparent. It's going to take me a few coats to get this where I want it, but I'm not going to bore you by showing each successive coat. While I wait for the yellow to dry, I'm going to flip over to the base and just put a little Porconi Paints base gray on the rock portions of this base. Now it's time to undercut the flesh. Now sometimes I will just put a pale flesh tone directly over the miniature, but when I want the skin to look a little more tanned, I start by basing it out in a Vallejo color called dark flesh tone. This will show through a little bit on the other layers and give us a more bronzed tan look to the skin. While that dries, we're going to move back over to our base, and this time we're using Porconi Paints cardboard to cover all of the areas on this base that are filled with sand or dirt. It's okay if this doesn't look perfectly covered, there's no need to go back and do another coat. The little bit of black that might peek through will just add to our weathered effect. Now the next step in our miniature is going to be to use Vallejos Pale Flesh. I don't want complete coverage on this. I want to allow a little bit of the dark undercoat to saturate through to the surface, but I want enough coverage that we get a general flesh tone. You're going to want to put this on with a dry slather technique. A little bit heavier than a dry brush, but not so heavy as if you were looking for complete and even coverage. Now I'm going to be painting a couple of our little accents. So I have a couple of skulls on the base, which I'll be covering in Vallejos Bone White, and then I have some wraps on the arms of the miniatures, which I'll be doing in the same bone white color. If you don't have Vallejos Bone White, but you do have Porconi Paint's Stone Edge Dry Brush, they're almost the same color and they can work interchangeably. Now here I decided to bring a little pop of color to the miniature. I have these yellow pants and I decided that the belt and the cuffs on the legs I wanted to accent. So I'm using Vallejos Bloody Red to do that. It gives a kind of One Punch Man aesthetic to it, which I really like. Now this miniature features a necklace made up of a bunch of spheres. I decided that I wanted to do this metallic, so I'm using Vallejos Metallic Gold to do this. You want complete coverage, but the nice thing about this metallic is it covers really well in one coat, so you shouldn't have to do two. Now up until now, I haven't really touched the hair. Because this miniature is a halfling, he has bare feet with a little patch of hair on them, and he has, of course, the hair on the top of his head. I decided that for this, I was going to base coat the hair in somber gray, and then I'll darken that up with some washes later on. Now things are going to start coming together quick. I've got the first of the washes going on the miniature now, which is Citadel's Recklin Flesh Shade, which is a nice way to take an otherwise bland, fleshy tone and give it a lot of pop. The first step in preparing the pants is going to be to cover them entirely in this Citadel shade, Cassander Yellow. While the pants dry just a little bit, I'm taking just a dab of Seraphine Sepia over the wraps on his arms and around his feet to give him a little bit of a dirtied look. Now I'll accent that necklace we did with a little bit of Nuln Oil. Now I wanted to get a transition going on the pants to make them look darker at the cuffs, graduating up into the yellow, and for this I'm using Citadel's Fuegian Orange Wash. I'll now use a couple of dabs of Athonian Camo Shade to do a little bit of color variation here and there. Now back to Cassansora Yellow to accent all of this great detail on the base. The last wash that's going to go on the base is a little bit of Agrax Earthshade. Now I particularly am putting this heavy over the dirt areas, but I'm also accenting the skulls with it as well. With all the washes dry, I'm going to use a little bit of olive dry brush over the base. This will just give the stone a little bit of variation. And now the last step in the painting process is going to be to just use a little bit of Stone Edge dry brush. I'll go over both the mini and the base with this, bringing out all of the little bits of detail. I was going to cut off the base with a pair of side cutters, but I decided that the feet looked a little too fragile. So I took it out to the wood shop and threw it on my sanding wheel just to actually sand that base off of there. It worked pretty well. With the base removed from the mini and our new custom base ready to go, it's time to pin the mini to our base. Now I'll be using, it's an off-brand Dremel essentially, made by Black & Decker, to drill out a small hole in the foot and leg of the miniature. I'm only going to do one side, and I'll glue the other side just with a drop of super glue. The reason for this is because of the bend in the foot. I'm afraid that if I do both sides, it'll actually poke out through the leg. Now I'm using a small brass rod, which I stick in with a little bit of Zap-A-Gap super glue, and once the peg is in place, I will drill a hole into my base, fill it with a little bit more super glue, put a little super glue on the flat of the foot, and then stick them together and hold it until it's dry. And here you have the finished miniature. I hope that my players enjoy the custom miniatures that I put out on the table. I certainly have a lot of fun making them. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them for me below. Hey, if you like these videos and want to help me keep making them, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button.